We've had 10 days of perfect sunshine in England, and what do we get here in London on this first morning? Some rain. We were delayed until 20 past 12. Michael Vaughan, the England captain, is alongside me. Big time this for English cricket.
Yeah, it is. It's it's a real opportunity. We won the series in New Zealand, played some decent cricket in the last 2 games. This summer's are really the building blocks towards what will be a huge summer next year. But we're exciting times. We've got some good players in the side. Hopefully the momentum which we gained from the victory in New Zealand, we can build on that this summer.
You've worked very closely with Peter Moores during this first year of his tenure, and a lot of new young faces.
Yeah, there's some new players in the team, a lot of young players, and the team's developing, so the victory in New Zealand should be a good start for us. This is a big series, as is the South African one, as is the India one later on in the summer, later on in the year. But first and foremost, we must get today off to a good start. We've won the toss. We're going to have a ball in what looks like good conditions, so hopefully we'll start well.
Frustratingly for everybody, it was another hour, 20 past 1 indeed, when play finally got underway. Paul Collingwood's OK after an injury scare, so he plays his 30th consecutive Test match. In that England side, Andrew Strauss, the only player remaining from this corresponding fixture 4 years ago. James Anderson claims the final spot, not Matthew Hoggard. For New Zealand, there's no Stephen Fleming, the first time since March 1999, would you believe, that he's missing from the side. The main threats for England, McCullum, Oram and the captain, Daniel Vettori. With us for the season, I'm delighted to say, is Barry Richards.
Should be a very, very interesting series, as the one was in New Zealand. These two teams are very evenly matched. New Zealand always box above their weight, ably led by Daniel Vettori, so everything to look forward to this summer. But this England side, they're on the mend.
Got to be out. It is out. Super cricket from England. James Anderson getting the ball to move just enough up the hill here at Lord's. Aaron Redman has gone. Nicely caught by Alistair Cook, low down at third slip.
Absolute beauty. This is one you fear as an opening batsman when you first get in. Caught on the crease, not quite sure whether forward or back. Little edge, and a good catch from Alistair Cook. Low down, kept his eyes on it all the way. New Zealand in trouble straight away.
A depressing start for Aaron Redman. He's gone for a duck. New Zealand 2 for 1. Got in! Lovely stuff. No ball. No ball called. Simon Taufel, the Australian, has denied James Anderson.
Well, if you look at the replay, you'll see that the foot is just on the line. It's a very, very marginal call, and usually bowlers can get away with that. On this occasion, Simon Taufel says no.
Oh, no, that's done the trick, surely. Yes, it has. James Anderson has Jamie Howe. Marshall's still out there, but delight on the faces of the English players. Should rid him of the bogey of the no ball he just bowled.
An absolute beauty again. Just a little bit of nip away off the seam for James Anderson. It's a perfect delivery for a new ball bowler. A little bit of an edge. Not much he could do about that, Jamie Howe. Ambrose does the rest. Excellent bowling.
Howe caught at the wicket off James Anderson for 7. 18 for 2. Oh, there's a trouble here. No, I can't believe James Anderson's done that. We had 2 batsmen at one end. James Anderson had all the time in the world, and he chose not to take it.
Goodness me, how did you miss that one? That's what he'd be saying to himself, James Anderson. Every opportunity, both batsmen at the same end. He could have run down and taken the bails off himself. In the end, he's thrown it straight past the wicketkeeper. That is a miss.
Safe, 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 safe. If you're going to go, go hard. That's what they say, and it's exactly what Ross Taylor's done.
I think they've got to settle down of these New Zealand batsmen. They want to hit too many runs. They've been put into bat because the conditions are nice for bowling. They've got to stay in and put a partnership together. Got to blunt the new ball bowlers. Oh, that's out. That's a get-out shot. Who's going to take it? Collingwood, second slip, best fielder in the side, and that's a shocker again. That is Ross Taylor playing one-day cricket, and that's what he's come from. The 2020 IPL in India, and that's why you really should come and play proper cricket, warm-up matches before you go into a test match. This is awful. This is awful. I only told him about that the other day as well at lunch.
And I tell you what, he's not looking at it as he's walking back, Geoffrey, either. He's got his back to the big screen as Paul Collingwood takes that fairly simple catch off the top edge. A wicket for Stuart Broad, well deserved. He's replaced Ryan Sidebottom to bowl very steady, fast medium, and Taylor's on his way for only 19. New Zealand 41 for 3 now.
Oh, that's a beautiful shot. Gee whiz, Brendan McCullum, anything on the legs, and it's going to fizz away to the boundary. That's in the air, just over the top. Broad unlucky, now Sidebottom also unlucky. In the air and gone at last for Stuart Broad. He has bowled quite beautifully, well deserved.
Absolutely right. Second wicket. The first one was really due to a bad shot from Taylor, but that really was a perfect delivery from the pavilion end, drawing the batsman Marshall into the shot. He couldn't leave that. It just left him perfectly off the pitch, and good work there by the keeper. He didn't go for it. He left it for Andrew Strauss. We have seen keepers get in the way of the first slip sometimes. Good work by Ambrose, neatly caught by Strauss. A genuine wicket for Broad, and Marshall goes back for a fighting 24, 76 for 4.
And he took that one away. He's going to take him on as Brendan McCullum. There's no holding him back.
If he carries the attack to England, at least he's breaking the shackles of A, the conditions, and B, the pressure on Flynn at the other end.
He's away at last, and it's a very good shot to open the account for Danny Flynn.
Round his legs, I think. He may think himself unlucky, young Daniel Flynn. He's fought like heck to retain his wicket, and Anderson's done him behind his legs.
Well, he just fell over a little bit too far, and he can't believe that this has clipped leg stump. Just gone past the trouser. I don't think it did much. It just clipped the trousers onto the stumps. It just fell over down the slope of the pitch, and that's an easy wicket for Jimmy Anderson. 104 for 5 now.
The first day of the first test of an English cricket summer is always an exciting time, and despite the gloomy weather here at Lord's, it's been an intriguing day of cricket so far. Now I'm focusing today on the performances of England's developing seam attack. Before play, the last surviving member of England's Ashes winning attack, Matthew Hoggard, was told by Peter Moores he was not required. The leader of the attack is now Ryan Sidebottom, star of the winter and player of the year. Left arm over, Sidebottom's stock delivery tries to swing in to the batsman, and there's his field. 3 slips and a gully, top left of picture, and a cover point in the mid-off, and a short leg, important for Sidebottom because his stock delivery swings in towards the right-handed batsman and can get a little inside edge to that man crouched into his hip pocket. His first ball of the day actually did swing in, but it was neatly played down by the batsman, and generally Sidebottom was off colour today. He couldn't get that swing. He was too wide outside the off-stump, bowling from the nursery end, the slope not helping him. James Anderson at the other end is more of an inconsistent bowler, and he has a field with 4 slips and a man deep on the point boundary or backward point boundary, because his swing is the opposite to Sidebottom, swinging away from the right-handed batsman towards the slips. He has the ability to make the ball move late. Sometimes the bowl's a little bit too wide, but using the slope, which was sloping from left to right, he induced this push there to that ball, and he has the ability to bowl wicket-taking deliveries, that one moving up the slope to take the edge. Third seamer Stuart Broad is more of a Glenn McGrath clone, very consistent. finds life and movement, and very accurate, a good seam release, bolt upright, and he has ability to read a wicket too. He could see that the ball was moving, so he was looking to pitch it up a bit more to induce the little push off the front foot. That was the wicket of James Marshall. I'm impressed also by the way he dealt with the aggression of Brendan McCullum, who can be quite a daunting opponent. Here's McCullum standing out of his crease and belting Broad through the offside. Might try and induce Broad into a short delivery, but Broad is still on the money there, probing away on a line and length and nearly getting McCullum LBW. A very consistent bowler, someone that Michael Vaughan knows he can trust, and look at the consistency of his line and length. Nothing down the leg side at all around the off stump and just outside, a good length. The white one in the middle was the wicket of Marshall, and nothing over pitched. And generally, with New Zealand 109 for 5 at tea, Michael Vaughan will be pleased with the work of his emerging trio, but it'll be important to finish the job after the interval.
Oh, that's a good shot. And it's a no ball, so Brendan McCullum in sight of a 50.
Well, this guy is dangerous. He plays outrageous shots. He gets a bit of luck with edges and so forth, but he can play some magnificent orthodox cricket shots. He dismisses this ball easily, rolls the wrists. It's a perfect pull shot in front of mid-wicket. 4 runs.
That's a very good shot from a ball which is outside off stump. And Brendan McCullum, a very, very well played 50. Oh, that's a great shot. A perfect cover drive from Brendan McCullum.
Great shot. Incredible strength again from McCullum, because that's not well timed at all. Amazing batting, really is. Stand and deliver stuff from McCullum. It's another boundary, unorthodox but hugely effective. Chris Broad, father of Stuart, who's in operation now. And 4. Not the first time today the third man boundary has been used by the batsman. It just isn't a modern slot for a captain. That's a really fine shot. Shot of the day by Brendan McCullum.
This is a wonderful shot. Just cleared the left leg and whack. No boundary big enough for Brendan McCullum when it hits the middle of the bat.
Fetch that. Fantastic batting over extra cover, and no one will appreciate that area of the field more than the man next to me, Barry Richards.
What a great shot. Batting out of your crease on the up.
Oh, he's bowled him straight through the gate. Monty Panesar's done it. McCullum, for the second time, fails to make 100 at headquarters. On a murky old day, though, he has really illuminated proceedings with an incredible innings. He's gone for 97.
Straight off his pad as well. Monty's got the wicket that England needed, and unfortunately he's not got his century. 203 for 6.
And unfortunately for the very good crowd at Lord's, that was that for the day. The rain came, the weather closed in, and the players weren't able to get back out there. New Zealand may regard that as a pretty good card given their awkward start. It was a terrific partnership between Brendan McCullum and Jacob Oram using all his experience to be unbeaten with 23. McCullum played just about every stroke in the book and was cruelly unlucky not to go to 100. I had a chat with him after play. 96 last time you were here for New Zealand, 97 today. You heard the death roll behind you. Describe your emotions, Brendan.
Yeah, obviously initial disappointment. was sort of deja vu as well to a degree. I sort of had huge aspirations to be able to get on the honours board this time around, and you know, to make 97 in what was pretty tough conditions was obviously something I'm pretty proud of. But at the same time, huge disappointment that I didn't manage to get 100 and also still be there at the moment.
Mixed emotions from Brendan McCullum, as there will have been from one or two of England's bowlers, not least Ryan Sidebottom, who was tidy but not quite penetrating on this occasion. James Anderson was sparky though, 3 for 42. A couple for Stuart Broad, who swung the ball out, and the key wicket, of course, going to Monty Panesar. Just about on as even yesterday. New Zealand got a sticky start after Michael Vaughan had put them into bat, and then Brendan McCullum played a quite sparkling innings. Jacob Oram gave him good support. Daniel Vettori's with Oram, unbeaten overnight.
Out. Good catch from Andrew Strauss. Now then, New Zealand blocking all the way through this morning. Suddenly they lose a wicket. Now the game's on.
It's Jacob Oram who's gone, and it was a very good delivery from Sidebottom, full. And notice Oram doesn't really move his feet. He's stuck in the crease. He's a big man. He should really use his reach much better than he does. Little juggling effort from Andrew Strauss there. The ball actually almost rising on him there, carrying through beautifully. Sort of neck high. The first wicket in the innings to Ryan Sidebottom. Oram on his way for 28, 222 for 7.
That's a good shot. Not classic, but effective, and the first 4 off the bat for the day.
Catch it, it's up in the air, but it's safe. It's 4 runs indeed.
Very dangerous player is the captain, Daniel Vettori.
Now comes the new ball. What can Ryan Sidebottom do with that? No, going down leg. Not far away. Good try, Ryan Sidebottom, and it did swing, so there's hope for him. Not quite. Very, very good shout this is. Pitched leg, would have been just missing the leg stump, so a very good decision from umpire Buckner. Bowled him. Softened him up with the first one, LBW, which was very, very close, but there's no doubt about this one. A lovely sound for a fast bowler, and well bowled by Ryan Sidebottom.
Well, he's well pitched up and it swung a little bit. You see the drive is aimed through extra cover, and the swing does it. It just comes back on him. Perfect. Do it again and again. The 2 tail enders still to come. 258 for 8.
The idiosyncrasies of Lords, particularly the slope, 8 foot 8 inches from one side of the ground to the other, always make for interesting cricket, especially in these bowler-friendly conditions. And I'm going to look today at the effect of the slope both on bowlers and batsmen. We have here Ryan Sidebottom bowling from the nursery end. The slope, as you can see from the graphic there, from right to left, and that allows Sidebottom to angle the ball in generally to the left-handed batsman, trying to get him LBW. But he's also hoping his natural swing will take the ball away towards the slips, giving him 2 options of taking wickets. But generally, Sidebottom with the old ball wasn't able to get any swing this morning, and it was allowing the left-handed batsman just to knock him away on the leg side. And you can see there him completely losing his line, the slope taking the ball away down the leg side to the boundary. At the other end, the pavilion end, you can see the graphic making the slope go from left to right. Anderson is bowling here, the slope allowing the left-handed batsman to leave the ball outside the off stump with perfect safety. No swing for Anderson, so he decided to pepper the large figure of Jacob Oram with some short deliveries, forcing him onto the back foot, and Sidebottom from the nursery end followed suit. Again, he couldn't quite get his line right, the slope taking the ball down the leg side, but finally one worked, and he's forced Oram onto the back foot here. You see his front foot not outside the front crease there. He's hardly moved his feet. Also, the effect of the slope, he's thinking the ball's coming into him and he's going to hit it away on the leg side, but the swing has taken it away and flicked the edge, and finally England make the breakthrough that they've been looking for an hour, with a catch called at the 3rd attempt by Andrew Strauss. Then when Sidebottom took the second new ball, there was the late swing he'd been looking for through the gate of the right-hander. And with that, he'll be itching to get hold of that second new ball when play resumes after lunch.
the players came out and bowled just 2 balls before the umpires took them off for bad light. This is such a blight on the game. All over the world, good crowds are frustrated by light. Really, the players should be able to play in worse conditions than they do at present. But it wasn't long before Michael Vaughan was back out there, and England were back in the hunt.
Bowled in, first ball after the break, 23-minute break. Ryan Sidebottom is getting the ball to swing. It's a beauty.
Full credit to him for being on the mark. Sometimes when you go off for a period, as Sidebottom and England have just done, it takes a bit of time to get the radar back. You feel a bit for the poor unsuspecting batsman, and then you remind yourself that it's he who chose to go off for the light. A perfect in-swinger from Sidebottom. Just a single for Southey, and New Zealand now 260 for 9. Fantastic cricket this is from Daniel Vettori. Wouldn't say it's the brightest bowling from James Anderson, but Vettori predicting the ball and playing the uppercut. Great precision. Beautifully bowled. Quick as well. It'll tell Vettori there's still something in that pitch. Got him! Amazing, a mistake by Vettori. Complete blank he must have had. The innings comes to a close. Ryan Sidebottom's done it. In fact, he's bowled extremely well with his second new ball. Michael Vaughan must be relieved. I don't think when he put New Zealand into bat in these conditions he'd have reckoned on a total of 277. But look at this, Barry.
Amazing, just left it. I think he decided that it was going to go away, and he's brought it back down the slope. Just nipped back and he's just left it completely. Blackout.
I just wonder about going off so often for light. I think it must disturb your rhythm and concentration as a batsman. There's the card. Tremendous performance from Brendan McCullum, 97 from 97 balls. Oram pretty good. Vettori very good too, 48 resilient stuff from him. They are the centerpieces of this team. There are the England bowlers. Sidebottom finishing with 4 for 55, having been not so good yesterday. 3 for James Anderson, 2 for Stuart Broad, and 1, the wicket of McCullum, of course, going to Monty Panesar.
Shot. Short and wide, put away nicely by Cook. They must pitch the ball up, these New Zealand bowlers. See what happened when Sidebottom did that. Get the ball up, bring them forward.
Kyle Mills looking for a little bit of in-swing to Cook, but dragging it down, no movement either. Sitting up nicely for Cook.
That's 4. Well played, Alistair Cook, played it down. A bit of a thick edge, but you're entitled to those as an opening batsman against the new ball. Well, the umpires again got no choice now. They've made a rod for their own back by looking at the light meter, deciding when it gets to a certain point that the light's not good enough and they go off. Or they gave the light to the New Zealanders to go off, and so they've got to do the same to England.
Oh, lovely placement. Just a little lean into the stroke. The speed it runs across this outfield means that he gets 4 for it. And 4 more for Alistair Cook. Really crisp strike. There's a glorious stroke from Andrew Strauss. His first boundary, the favourite square drive, is up and running. That's a beauty. Into position so quick. Suddenly Strauss is flourishing.
Not an easy shot to play, but as you say, right into position and just absolutely creamed it to the boundary.
Steve Buckler doesn't need much invitation to beckon his partner over, check out the light, and I think this time it's going to be for good. Sure is. It is fairly gloomy now, in fact. But the players walk off to the predictable boos.
Didn't seem to bother Andrew Strauss or Alistair Cook that light. 24 and 43 unbeaten respectively. They played extremely well. New Zealand didn't quite get their lines right. In fact, the pitch hasn't done a great deal. The ball hasn't swung, and there's nothing in the wickets column for any of those New Zealand bowlers. There's the situation. New Zealand 277, England 68 for no wicket. That's a deficit of 209. There was further disappointment on the third day of the first Test match of the summer at Lord's. Just 42 minutes of play were possible before more bad light and then steady rain put an end to proceedings. This created much frustration for the good crowd. England added just 21 runs in what little play was possible, and they now trail New Zealand by 188 with all their first innings wickets in hand. This hover cover, one of the great innovations brought here by the MCC, has been on and off the outfield non-stop. The ground staff, these guys here, have been working away to cover the outfield. That's from rain. Remember, the players have also gone off for bad light. So in other words, it's been a huge frustration. However, conditions altogether better today. England 89 for no wicket, 188 behind the New Zealanders. But were they to bat all day and get a substantial lead, they'd look to bowl New Zealand out tomorrow. So they could, in theory, still win this game. Conditions, thankfully for Mick Hunt and his team, perfect.
Hundred up for Andrew Strauss and Alistair Cook. They've been past 50 6 times. This is the first time they've got to 100.
They'll go for the short ball. Both of these batsmen like the short ball. They're good at pulling.
Magnificent stroke, though, because the ball bounced high. This got quite big from very short, admittedly, so there was time to play it. But to control it and hit it down in front of square shows you that Cook's in good nick.
Back one.
Yeah, again, you see, short of the length, you'll get punished by both these batsmen. Strauss there, excellent undercut shot. Oh, well bowled. What a beauty. He does occasionally come around a wicket, pitch perfectly, and make it go up the hill. Oh, that's out. That's out. What a beauty. Well, he's earned that as Chris Martin. We've just seen the ball before. He bowled a magic ball, and that's as good as the one before. Well bowled.
There you go, pitch it up. Magnificent cricket by New Zealand. Almost as if Martin has learned his lesson. Consecutive balls. I mean, that's a crackerjack of a delivery. Look where Cook's looking to play it. That shows the angle of it. Wonderful cricket. Superb catch too. Athletic from Brendan McCullum, who's such an exciting cricketer. Lovely innings from Alistair Cook. He made 61. It's 1-2, 1 for 1.
This is a big innings for Michael Vaughan. He feels he's in good touch and he's off straight away. First ball for 2. He's had 95 runs in 3 first-class innings and 133 runs in 5 through the season for Yorkshire. So he's not in the greatest touch.
50 at last for Andrew Strauss. It's his 12th Test 50 and probably one of his slowest, I should think. 3 hours and 20 minutes to get to that half-century.
Now that must be LBW. It is LBW. Strauss caught on the crease, and I guess that inability to get forward has finally cost him. Credit to Jacob Oram for getting the ball in exactly the right slot. Only where the ball pitched could have been the issue for the umpire. Did it pitch outside leg stump? The rest of it seemed fine, Geoffrey.
Look where he's playing across the line. Look where the bat's going. We carry on there, it's just going across the mid-wicket. He stopped in the last 20 minutes, 25 minutes, playing as straight as he has done for his first 50 runs. And that's what's caused his downfall, but he's played very nicely. And England now 148 for 2.
Well, to be honest, I think that's taken everybody by surprise. Huge stride forward by Kevin Pietersen. The ball's got an awful lot to do from there, but Steve Buckner, normally sedate around that sort of an appeal, quite satisfied.
Well, it's hell of a judgment call. He does get a big stride in, does Pietersen. Umpires today in the modern game, they have for the last few years started giving people out on the front foot, big stride or not. That's a huge wicket for New Zealand. 152 for 3 now, England.
Oh, that's well placed. Great way to get going for Ian Bell.
Lovely. You bowl too straight, bowling from the pavilion end, that's what happened. Just clipped it, almost pushed it, Michael Vaughan, and it's gone for 4.
That's a good ball. How do you play those? That was a real snorter from Chris Martin, who's actually been the best of the New Zealand bowlers all day. Made the ball dart about off this surface, and that was unplayable. Took the shoulder of Ian Bell's bat and sent him on his way.
For about half an hour now, Chris Martin has been of the highest class. He's pitched the ball nice and full, made the batsman play, kept a consistent line and hit the seam. It's exactly how you're supposed to bowl in helpful conditions. He's done it at a lively pace too. Quite a little problem for England. Bell's 16, but England 180 for 4.
Well, that's only Michael Vaughan's second boundary. He's been in for nearly 2 hours. A little bit of relief, I should think, for him to find that one hitting the middle of the bat off his pads. It's been a bit of a struggle.
It's a crime to give him that ball. He's very good off his hip.
Yes, he's got that through. Not quite off the middle, probably, Michael Vaughan. And past the diving figure of a sort of cover point, backward point. But he's got it through, and he's just starting to get his score moving a bit now.
That's out. Beautifully bowled by Daniel Vittori. Just a bit more flat, and it turned.
Well, that is absolutely a perfect dismissal for a left-arm spinner. Up the slope, just turned. Collingwood didn't play it very well. He's gone. England 208 for 5.
First ball in Test cricket in England for Tim Ambrose. Oh, he's gone. Vittori's on a hat-trick. He's left one that's just drifted in. Fatal error. Ambrose goes.
Well, it's always dangerous, is the arm ball from the pavilion end, because you just have to let it drift in as a spinner. Just comes down the slope. Oh, that's out. Well, what a day for New Zealand. They are bowled fantastically well. 208 for 6, England.
Just taking his time, Daniel Vittori is on a hat-trick. Stuart Broad is the batsman. Whoa, nearly. It would have been the third one for New Zealand. Vittori just misses out. Lovely shot. Not a bad delivery by any stretch of the imagination, but good timing from Michael Vaughan, who plays well through that area.
Tried a quicker ball here, did Vittori. Down the hill, sort of arm ball running in, but he saw it.
Michael Vaughan goes to 50. Given he's only averaged 20 on the tour of New Zealand and hasn't turned up a stone in county cricket so far this summer, it's a measure of his resilience and his quality. Tea time came with Michael Vaughan looking really comfortable. He'd managed to avert any real danger from England's point of view. 239 for 6 the score, and the deficit now 38. Throughout the day, Simon Hughes has been keeping an eye on a piece of the Lord's cricket ground that we very rarely see. I wouldn't say that he was up with the Sparrows first thing this morning, but he was there a while before play began.
Well, it's a beautiful morning here at Lord's. Now, behind me is the media centre, and behind that is the main ground where the real action takes place. Here I am on the nursery ground, so called because it was once known as Henderson's Nursery, and in the 1870s apparently they used to grow some of the best pineapples in Britain before the MCC bought this area and converted it into a practice ground. It's here where the players come first in the morning to do their warm-ups. They practice in the nets over there. You can see a couple of England players just having some throwdowns. Then next to that is a pitch where Stuart Broad is actually just going through his routine as well. It's a good enough pitch to actually stage matches on non-test match playing days. Cross Arrows and MCC play games here, and then there's also a large space where fielders can warm up, and they can have little warm-up routines as well for the players to get ready for the play. People coming into the ground actually stop and have a look at this. It's quite an interesting area, and they can also pick up food as well. There's an amazing area of barbecues and fish and chip stalls over here. In fact, I can smell it and I need something to eat. I'm feeling a bit peckish, so I'm just going to pop over there and pick up something before play starts. Well, it's tea time now on the nursery, and the ground converts into a picnic area and occasionally a children's playground as well. Lots of people picnicking down here. There's wine being drunk and pims and beer and lots of steak and sort of roasts being eaten as well. I've got a bunch of Kiwis actually down here and one lone English fan as well, being rather drowned out. But it's Lord's Test matches are a real social occasion, and this is a great time to meet friends and bump into acquaintances you haven't seen for a long time. Of course, in about 15 minutes' time, they're all going to be heading backwards into the ground again, because England, 38 behind at 239 for 6, need to bat well to try and get a lead, and everyone's going to be filing in to see how they do after tea.
Shot. That'll go for 4. Stuart Broad. Yep, keeps going up that hill if you time it properly. Another good shot. He hits the ball very straight, as young Broad. The full face of the bat to the ball, whether it's hitting it straight through mid-off or through the covers. Shot, boy, again. Don't bother running for that. That's 4 for Stuart Broad, and that brings up the 50 partnership, 53 to be exact. Well played.
Lovely shot. Joining in the fun is Michael Vaughan. Classic off drive, just leaning into it. And that's in the air, but just over the top. You can feel just a little aggrieved, Daniel Vittori. He did him in the flight, but Vaughan was clever enough to keep going with the shot. Bowled him. Very good delivery from Jacob Oram. He'd been running it away from the left-handers. This one has come back. 2.5 hours since he bowled.
And a relief to England by the look of that ball. That really does come back, admittedly off inside edge and pad, but the movement was there. The length was perfect. The acknowledgement comes from the batsman.
England 8 behind, Oram happy, Broad gone for 25, the total 269 for 7.
Again, a nice looking shot from Michael Vaughan, but just a single this time. Scores a level.
Michael Vaughan on 96. Oh, he's gone for it. He's got it. Well played, Michael Vaughan. 100 not out. His first 100 against New Zealand. Came at a marvellous time for him. He's been short of a few runs this summer. And it's his 6th 100 at Lord's, which equals Graham Gooch.
Given that England's first innings began on Friday afternoon, Michael Vaughan had to wait the best part of a day and a half before he actually had his chance in the middle. He came into this game without much form either, and you could see that the way he started. In fact, his innings had two distinct phases. The first phase, where he was really struggling to lay bat on ball and certainly not find the middle of the bat. You can see here a little bit tentative in defence, slow to get forward to that ball. He was beaten outside the off stump a number of times by, admittedly, some very good deliveries by the New Zealanders. You can just see him looking a little bit indecisive generally in his play. Here, for instance, a big thick inside edge there, slow to get into position for that. Luckily, it brought him a quick single. Daniel Vettori beat him in the flight early in his innings, and he scooped that one very unconvincingly over the mid-wicket area. And here you see he's trying to drive that. Now, if he was really on top form, he'd have hit that away for 4, and he knows it. It was a long half volley. It was really only the quick singles there, well judged, that kept his innings ticking. He took 2 hours to get to 30, and it was that shot there, a little ball, nice gift on the leg stump, that really got Vaughan going. The second part of his innings was much more vintage Vaughan. There were creamy drives, there were deft late cuts, and generally much more aesthetically pleasing, typical Vaughan shots to bring up his 100. Shots all round the wicket, in fact, lots of front foot drives on both sides of the wicket, and there'll be relief as much as satisfaction in this, which was his first 100 for England since last July.
He plays a little sort of defensive push and nicks it straight to slip. It's a wicket for Kyle Mills at last. Right side Budden's done very well. He's made 16 precious runs.
That's a pretty good delivery, though. It's just nipped away. Nice, easy catch from Ross Taylor. He made no mistake. 317 for 8.
I wonder what that's hit. Oh, it's been given out. Or Monty was sort of walking, was he? It was all, I don't know how you describe it, but underwhelming, I think. Let's have a look again. Maybe clipping the glove, I think that's what it was. Onto the top of the pad, looping up to short leg. No problem for Daniel Flynn. Vettori gets another wicket and deserves it. It's 318 for 9.
Catch it.
There's a good strike. Oh, it's a good catch too. Frustration for Michael Vaughan. He'd have probably earned 6 for that stroke. Hit it really well. It means that Vettori ends up with 5 for. He's bowled nicely on a pitch that's offered him, well, just a touch of turn, but it's Michael Vaughan's day, no doubt about that. Lords will stand to him. 106 he made, the second 50, some of his very best batting for some time. The lead now 42 for England. It'll be interesting to watch them bowl this evening. We pray that the light holds. 319 the total. The start from Strauss and Cook was very solid, but it was all about what Vaughan did later in the day. He got good support from Stuart Broad and from Ryan Sidebottom. Chris Martin 2 for 76, 2 for 45 Jacob Oram, and those figures from Daniel Vettori, typical of what he brings to this New Zealand side. Galvanised by Michael Vaughan's 100, his bowlers now have the chance to make life very difficult for New Zealand through a tricky period this evening. England 42 ahead. Oh, there's a really good stroke. Wonderful way to get going for Jamie Howe. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . it. There we go. Aaron Redmond, he's off the pair. Crunched it away through square cover. That's his moment of the match for sure.
Oh, that's very, very close, and Simon Taufel says no.
Whoa, it's very tight.
Oh, misfield, and that'll be four. The deficit almost wiped out. Now there's a big appeal again. Monty pleads. Simon says no.
This is painfully close. Poor Monty. Well, actually, that's hit him outside the line of off stump as well. Isn't that interesting, that replay? It's good umpiring. Frustration for England. None of the calls for LBW were answered in the affirmative. New Zealand still a couple behind, but going okay. Jamie Howe looked really good, unbeaten with 26. New Zealand overall 40 for no wicket. Heaven knows what tomorrow will bring us. The draw remains the favourite. New Zealand began the final day just 2 runs behind England, but they had all their second innings wickets in hand, and a draw seemed the most likely result. England took 3 wickets in the first session to leave the Kiwis 113 for 3 at lunch, and you sensed that the home team had a sniff of victory. But Jamie Howe played anchor, and Jacob Oram played all his strokes to ensure that New Zealand saved the game. He made a quite superb 100 from just 120 balls.
Oh, he's decided to attack.
Oh, he's hit that. Hasn't he hit that? You do sense that New Zealand are taking it away, thanks to Jacob Oram's buccaneering talent. Oh, there's a terrific strike. Yeah. The perfect off drive. Now, that will be 100 for Jacob Oram. He does it in style against the new ball. Wonderful stroke play. Look at the joy on that face. He knows he's made the game secure for New Zealand, and he knows that he's achieved something special. He'll be on the honours board forevermore. All of which meant that the match was drawn. New Zealand can take great heart from that and will go to Manchester truly believing that they can beat England. When play was done, I had a chat with their captain, Daniel Vettori. Did you wake up this morning with any fear of losing this game?
Not fear, but I think I'm enough of a realist to work out the situations that can arise from a poor start. And I think particularly the way we batted last night to get ourselves 40 for none, put some confidence in the dressing room, and a couple of precarious moments, but when Jacob Oram came to the crease, he probably settled all those doubts.
Nice to have all that power with you, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it was a really pleasing innings, and I think some moves that we made, putting Brendan up to 5 and Jacob down to 7, really paid off in this Test match, and hopefully that's the form that kick-starts them for a great series.
In very good nick yourself too, you're man of the match here. It must be nice to be captaining and playing to your full capacity.
Yeah, well, I've always said that I think some parts of captaincy are a little bit overrated, and the main part is your performance, and if you lead with your performance then people tend to follow. And always admired Ricky Ponting over the years, where he just goes out and scores 100 after 100, and people follow that. So that's what I'm trying to do, and Brendan as vice captain as well, he likes to lead with performance, and so the two of us doing what we did makes it a lot easier.
A few doubters thought England would win this series easily. Must be nice to prove them wrong.
Well, I mean, we're still confident in our own dressing room. We understand that we're a small cricketing nation, and that people, I suppose, like to put us in that underdog tag all the time. But we've proven ourselves over a number of years. We're a very good one-day side and a learning Test team. We've got some new players here, and hopefully they take some confidence out of this and move on to Manchester with it.
England had 2 notable opportunities to press for victory today. The first was around 11:30. New Zealand were 52 for 2, a lead of only 10, and the ball was swinging. But James Anderson is infuriatingly inconsistent. He has a tendency to follow up a beauty like this, beating Ross Taylor all ends up and adding a few words of encouragement with a dreadful ball down the leg side. He doesn't sustain the pressure. The second was about 2 o'clock when Brendan McCullum was smashed on the elbow. The lead at the time was only 78. This was a big chance for England with Jacob Oram coming in at number 7. But Stuart Broad just couldn't sustain the hostility to Oram, who's vulnerable to the short pitches, and generally he hasn't got that much potency as a bowler, though he is accurate. Nothing in the pitch for Monty Panesar, admittedly only a third-day pitch in effect, so no turn for him. And Ryan Sidebottom was just off colour in the whole match. He did take a few wickets in the first innings, but here at 3 o'clock, when he needed to produce a really probing over for England, a few of the deliveries sailed harmlessly past the off stump without requiring a shot. Another problem England have is lack of real pace. James Anderson's fastest ball is 88, but he averages only 84, the others averaging 82 and 80. No one to provide the real extreme pace that seriously unsettles batsmen. Oh, Freddie, where art thou? The fact is, England's 90 miles an hour enforcer might have played the odd one-dayer, but he hasn't appeared in a test for 5 successive series. And we won't be seeing him in this one either.
And with me now is the England captain, Michael Vaughan. We lost 150 overs to bad weather, but still today you had some chances.
Yeah, we had opportunities. It was going to take something special today, but we created some opportunities when they had them 4 down. McCullum goes off injured. I think that was our real chance, but we didn't quite take them. But full credit to Jacob Orman. He played a very entertaining knock towards the end, and I guess it just shows that this series will be a tough series, but we go to Old Trafford now. That has been good to the England team over the last few years, so we expect to play well up there.
Do you like what's around you, or secretly are you missing the kind of firepower that, say, Harmison and Flintoff can bring?
Oh, you miss certainly those 2 guys, but you know these young bowlers are excellent. The way that they work, the skill levels is good. Obviously, they're lacking a little bit of experience, but that'll come.
Tremendous positives with the top of the order, the front 3 particularly, which includes you.
Yeah, that's right. It's always nice to score a few runs, but the foundations were set from Strauss and Alistair Cook, who I thought looked excellent as an opening pair. Very solid, very controlled, and gave us a good, calm start.